Picture a city during rush hour. You and a colleague are leaving the same building at the same moment, heading to the same destination across town. You take the main road. Your colleague cuts through a side street to avoid the lights. The side street looks shorter on the map. It turns out to be slower. A truck is double parked. A crossing guard holds traffic for 2 minutes. You arrived in a different order. Now imagine that same scenario playing out, not with 2 people, but with 10,000 packets of data, leaving a server in a fixed sequence, fanning out across a global network of routers, and arriving at your device in whatever order the network happened to deliver them. That's packet reordering, and it happens constantly, on nearly every connection, for nearly every piece of data you've ever received. The question is why? Not in a vague, hand-wavy sense, but specifically, what is it about the structure of the internet that makes arrival order diverge from send order? The answer starts with how routers actually make decisions. When a packet enters a router, the router does one thing. It looks at the destination address, consults its forwarding table, and sends the packet out through whichever port leads toward that destination. That's it. The router doesn't know what came before that packet. It doesn't know what will come after. It has no concept of a stream or a sequence. Each packet is an independent object, examined in isolation, forwarded individually. This is a deliberate design choice, and a powerful one. It means no router in the network needs to maintain state about ongoing connections. A router handling millions of packets per second doesn't need to remember anything about packet number 4 in order to correctly handle packet number 5. Each forwarding decision is stateless. The network scales because each decision is cheap and independent. But independence has a consequence. If each packet is routed independently, and the network has multiple paths between any 2 points, which it almost always does, then different packets in the same stream can take different routes, and different routes have different properties. Consider what a path through the internet actually is. It's a sequence of routers connected by physical links, fiber, copper, wireless, each link with its own length and its own capacity. A path from London to Tokyo might run east, crossing Europe and Central Asia. Another path between those same 2 cities might run west, crossing the Atlantic and the Pacific. Both paths work. Both can carry packets, but they are not the same length, and they are not the same speed. A packet that takes the westward path might arrive at a completely different time than a packet that took the eastward path, even if they left the source milliseconds apart. Length is one source of reordering. Congestion is another, and in some ways, more important. Every link in the network has a capacity. A fiber link can carry so many bits per second, no more. When packets arrive at a router faster than the outgoing link can transmit them, they queue. They wait in line. The router has a buffer, a small holding area, and packets stack up in it until the link is free. Under normal conditions, this queuing delay is tiny, measured in fractions of a millisecond. But under heavy load, when a link is near capacity, the queue grows. Packets arriving during a congested moment wait longer. Packets arriving during a quiet moment wait less. Here's what makes this interesting. Packets from the same stream, sent back to back, don't necessarily encounter the same congestion. The first packet might hit a router during a brief quiet moment. Queue is short, it passes through fast. The second packet, arriving a fraction of a second later, hits the same router at the peak of a burst. Queue is long, it waits. By the time the second packet exits that router, the first packet has pulled ahead. On the next router, the situation might reverse. By the time both packets reach the destination, the accumulated differences in queuing, delay along the path, have shifted their relative order in ways that had nothing to do with how they were sent. This effect doesn't require multiple paths. It can happen on a single path, purely from the variability in how long packets spend waiting at individual routers along the way. Add in the possibility of multiple paths, and the potential for reordering compounds further. There's one more cause worth naming: link layer retransmissions. Some underlying link technologies, certain wireless protocols for instance, have their own retransmission mechanisms at a level below IP. If a packet fails to cross a single link cleanly, that technology might quietly retransmit it. The retransmission takes extra time. Meanwhile, later packets have already crossed that link successfully. A lower-level retry that isn't visible to the IP layer above it produces, from the IP layer's perspective, a packet that arrived behind packets it was sent before. Reordering without any routing or congestion involved at all. The result of all of this is that reordering is not an edge case. It's not a sign that something went wrong. It's a normal, expected property of a network built around independent packet forwarding, dynamic routing, and shared infrastructure. The internet was designed this way intentionally, and the design is good. It produces a network that is resilient, scalable, and adaptive. It routes around failures automatically. It balances load across available paths. It handles enormous volumes of traffic without any single router needing to track the full state of every connection passing through it. What it doesn't produce, and was never designed to produce, is a guarantee that packets arrive in the order they were sent. That guarantee, when applications need it, has to be constructed. Sequence numbers provide the coordinate system. Buffers at the receiver hold early arriving packets, while gaps are filled. The machinery that sorts and reassembles exists precisely because the network below it doesn't. None of that machinery is fighting a defect in the internet. It's compensating for a property that was chosen deliberately, because the alternative, a network that tried to preserve order at the routing level, would require every router to maintain state about every connection, which would make the internet as it exists today impossible to build. The disorder isn't a problem that got left unsolved. It's a trade-off that got made consciously, with a clear understanding of what would need to be handled above it. Once you see it that way, the mechanics of reordering stop looking like a flaw in the plumbing and start looking like the foundation on which everything reliable had to be built.